Good morning, Fork and Socket fans. It's Chester Franklin here. How you doing this morning? This is my second video recorded episode that can be found on YouTube. I finally created my new YouTube channel since the first video recorded episode with Ariel, the hot sauce addict. You may have heard my episode 41, titled Ariel, the hot sauce addict. On all sorts of platforms where podcasts can be heard. I did not plug my YouTube channel because I did not at that time have a YouTube channel. I now have a YouTube channel. All you have to do is go to YouTube and search up Fork and Socket Podcast. No spaces, no nothing. That's all you have to do. The logo, it'll be my customized logo here. Okay, and then also you'll see me, my very first episode that's on YouTube. It'll be me. I got my hair pulled back. I got a baseball cap on, but you'll notice the blue background. It'll really stand out to you, and so you'll know what video to click on. There's only one video on my channel so far. This will be my second episode. So thank you for joining me for episode 42, and actually episode number 2 of my video recorded version of the podcast. I found since I've started these videos that some things, they may not translate strictly through audio. So if you get the chance, please search up Fork and Socket Podcast on YouTube and subscribe. Please subscribe. I'd love to give you a link, but the link is so confusing because I need a certain amount of subscribers to customize my link. So help me out. If over the past almost year, it's been 10 or 11 months now. It's been 11 months now. If I've entertained you, do me a favor and just subscribe to my new YouTube channel. Because I do this for you guys, not really for me. I mean, a little bit for my mental health, I guess, but it's mostly for you guys, for entertainment purposes. And if you're watching the video right now and I look a little tired, I am. I just got off of a 12-hour shift, and I've been I've been off for a few hours now on top of that. And so, yeah, I'm a little tired, but it's been 2 weeks since I came out with some new content. So here we go. Let's get into the episode, all right? Don't worry about how I look. That doesn't matter, okay? We're going through this together. Some of you are probably just now waking up. Some of you guys may be in traffic going to work. I don't know really what's going on in your personal life. You may have just got done fighting with your baby mama. You may have just got kicked out for the day with your suitcase from wherever you're staying, and you have to go hang out on the street for a little while, maybe 10 to 12 hours until you can come back and return and sleep on someone's couch because they're gone and they're actually going to work. They're being productive members of society, whereas you are just kind of a freeloader. We all have our moments in time where we need some help, and so it's not always your fault. I'm not saying that you're being a bum, but maybe you are. Who knows? Let's get started. I wanted to start this podcast off in a positive light. Let's talk about something briefly as an introduction before I get into the main subject matter. You see this? And if you can't see it because you're not following me on YouTube and you're being a hater, I'm holding up a cardboard box sign that says #StopAsianHate. And now I am putting the box down. But we are going to talk about a little bit, just as an opener, about Asian hate. See, I, Chester Franklin, have a few things, and I have a few problems with it. I have a few problems with it. Yes, do stop Asian hate. Absolutely. Stop it. Okay? Stop beating up, especially old Asian people. Stop doing it, please. Please stop. Okay? It's not okay to be racist. Additionally, Okay, maybe you're beating up an Asian person because you don't like how they look. And to that, I just want to say, it's not their fault that they look like this. Oh, stop it. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Okay. I had to hit the ground running. That was very racist, but I'm not racist. That it's comedy. This is a comedy channel. So please do not complain to YouTube. Please do not take offense to that. That was comedic value only. And when I get nervous, I get a little racist sometimes from time to time. But seriously, stop the Asian hate. It's not their fault. How they look, how they're born, or whatever it may be, it's not their fault. And they're old. Stop beating up old people. And I think that the one problem I have with this whole Asian hate culture is I think if Bruce Lee was still alive, this would never happen. When Bruce Lee was alive, people had reverence for Asian people. And you know what? Thinking about it, additionally, when Wu-Tang Clan was in their prime, they brought back the love of Asian culture. You wouldn't fuck with the Asian person. Oh shit, you might know Kung Fu, you might know karate. You didn't fuck with some Asian dude, even though he was good at math, even though he was a nerd, even though he drove bad, okay? It wouldn't happen when I was growing up, even though Bruce Lee was dead before I was even born. But, when I was coming up, it was Jet Li and Jackie Chan. Those were the dudes. And they knew how to turn stuff on you. But I think where Asian hate very first started and when Asian people started getting beaten up was when Jackie Chan did Rush Hour. Jackie Chan kind of just messed up like the whole legacy and respect for Asian culture by being a goofball. Before that, you would not fuck with the Asian person because you didn't know what they were capable of. Now you're kind of just like, well, you don't really have an airplane to be a kamikaze. You're kind of nerdy. You snitch on me. You cut me off on the road. You can't grow facial hair. How manly can you be if you don't grow facial hair? Yeah, I think right now Asians are going through a hard time, but this is another thing I have a problem with about this Asian hate that's going on right now. Do you know that Filipinos are not Asian? Do you know? No, seriously, do you? Filipinos are not Asian. Stop beating up Filipinos. They're Pacific Islander. Okay? It's not fair that you say a racial slur, JAP, towards a Filipino. Okay? It's not right. They didn't do anything. They're in the Pacific. They're on an island, the Philippines. They're not in Asia. They're not even in the continent of Asia. They're not Asian. Stop beating up Filipinos. Next thing, if you're gonna beat up Asians, and don't do it. Do not beat up Asians. No hate crimes. I don't care what race you are. Don't commit a hate crime, okay? But all I'm saying is India is in Asia, okay? Therefore, Indians are Asians. They are. They're Asian. I don't know if everyone got it out of their system after 9/11, but it just seems to me that in the news, there's a bunch of stuff about shootings at massage parlors and all this stuff about, Asians being beat up, especially here in California. And I haven't seen one Indian on the news. I hope that's okay. I don't know if I should specify there's not a Hindu, there's not a Sikh, I don't know if I should narrow it down to that, but anyone from India in general, in the whole region, India is in Asia, And I just find it surprising that we have this movement, Stop Asian Hate, but I don't think Indian people are getting beat up, not since 9/11. I haven't seen that be the case. So you have to convince me that Asian hate really exists when you're excluding real Asians and you're including non-Asians. Look, all I'm saying is this. If you're gonna hate a people or a culture or a subculture or something, whatever, know your audience, know your victims, like know what the fuck you're doing. Don't just be like a blind ass racist. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be racist, but don't be racist. Don't be. So moving on, we're gonna get off the race stuff. I know this is all through the news, and I typically really don't like to do things that go on in the news. I don't like headlines and stuff like this. What I'm really gonna get into is Fork and Socket fans. Why do people keep testing me? Why do people keep fucking with me? Why do people not remember who Chester Franklin is from the jump and really start fucking with me where I feel like I gotta break a jaw, I gotta make a move, I gotta do something crazy? Do they think I'm playing? Do you guys think I'm playing? I'm just wondering. Because I'm really trying to figure this out. I try to stay in my own lane. I often do. I don't start fights with anybody. But does this look like I'm playing? Does this look like I'm playing? And if you're only listening to the audio, this is in fact it's not a flare gun. Nope. Whoever tried to say that first, calm down. Okay? Calm down, Pawn Star. This is a 50 cal. This is a motherfucking 50 cal waving in your face. And does it look like I'm playing? I'm serious. I'm serious with this shit. I will do this all over the camera. I'll put this 50 cal through my fucking head if you think I'm playing. But I know you don't think I'm playing. Now do you think I'm playing? This bruised ass man, do you think I'm playing now? No, still not playing. Still not playing. I'm dead serious. Don't take me as a joke. Don't act like you did something for me. Don't call me ungrateful. I will bust you in the lip. I'll bust you in the fucking mouth. I'll break your nose. But that's not funny. So let's just say I won't do those things. Just kidding. You know me. I'm a goof. Anyway, let's get to the main story, because who needed to hear that has probably seen this or heard that now. And now we can move on. And we will move on. This episode I want to call, and this is episode 42 of Fork and Socket Podcast with Chester Franklin here, in the Fork and Socket Studios. This episode is going to be called Devil's Scythe. Do you know what a scythe is? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm showing it for the camera. This is a scythe. And I can pretty much, mine is really rusty because it's been through a lot. And I do pull this out from time to time when I have a road rage incident. And you may or may not come in contact with this at some point in your life when you keep fucking with me, because some people don't take me serious. Well, I have a story about this scythe here, okay? You remember Juan from my very first episode. He used to be my best friend, and he used to me too my dog, Rocco. He used to jack Rocco off until Rocco was finally tired of it and was mature enough to realize what was really going on. and and then their relationship went astray, and then Juan wasn't allowed over anymore because just listen to the first episode. I don't want to give it away. I really want my newest listeners to go all the way back to the first episode. I would prefer that all of my listeners go back to my very first episode and build your way up. Some titles and some subjects are for some people and they're not for others, but I would appreciate if you start all the way back from the beginning. I mean, my beginning episodes were only maybe 10, 15 minutes a piece, maybe 20. And so it won't take much time to catch up to where we are today. But episode 42 is going to be called Devil's Scythe. So, when I was 5 or 6 years old, that's when I got this baby right here. Okay? I was in first grade. So maybe... Yeah, I was 6 or 7 years old, and I was in first grade at a school that no longer exists. Big surprise. It was called Hillcrest Elementary. And I remember at that age, my father, he had, when I was 6 or 7 years old, my father and mother divorced maybe a year before that. And my father he bought a 1-bedroom house, which was, if you're from Rodeo, that's really a big deal. In the town that I grew up in is called Rodeo. I used to skim over that fact. I used to not bring up the name, but a lot of you that follow me know who I am, so there's really no point. Who am I hiding this from? My father bought a 1-bedroom house. And underneath that house, it was pretty much all dirt, And I don't know if he maybe did some coke, smoked some meth, just got really drunk. Somehow he figured out under all that dirt, there was actually like a compartment. I guess it's like a bomb shelter kind of thing. I guess. I don't know really what you would call it, but like in plain sight, it just looked like under the house, you open up this like little mini window door, and you look under there, and it just looks like flat, dirt floor. But in all actuality, when my father started to dig into that dirt, there was actually like maybe 5 to 6 feet of space. You could bury bodies under there if you were John Wayne Gacy. If you were a serial killer, you could get away with a lot at my father's house at that time on Mariposa and Vaqueros. And so he started excavating, is the proper term. And we actually seen how deep that shit really went. Well, going through the dirt, as you dig down, you start finding relics. You start finding artifacts. You start finding things. And one of those things was this. It was a scythe. And I'll go ahead and zoom in for you. See how old and bent, and a scythe isn't supposed to be bent right here like the way it is. But okay. So that ended up getting dug out of the mud, out of the dirt. And at the bottom of the dirt, there was some water, there was mud, there was water. So my father used a pump, pumped out everything. But he kind of threw this scythe. He kind of, threw it aside. Well, as it most of the time would happen, is he would go to work and then I would cause trouble. And I have other stories, but right now we're focusing on the scythe. Well, again, if you remember Juan from episode 1, he was my best friend pretty much from the time I was born or old enough to remember what a friend was. That was my best friend. And I would dry hump his sister in front of him. And okay, that's beyond the point. The scythe.